Talk Show is brought to you by Health Plans, your Medicare plans, insurance solutions, and resource agency. We have a variety of plans and products that fit your needs, benefit requirements, and budget. With many low or no-cost premium plans, zero co-pays, and much more. Our licensed benefits advisor's priority is your health and well-being. Call us today and book your no-obligation consultation. 1-929-367-5269.
Folks, welcome back to Double Impact with your host, Hurricane H, and your host,
John C. Morley. And together we are
Double Impact. There you go. Well, hello. Hopefully you've enjoyed the last one, and we had some interesting discussion topics going on. And again, this is going to be a sequel, and it's just going to keep going and keep coming through. And John is actually, I have to say, he's been busy. John, you have had a couple of busy weeks, and this week has been interesting. I know you mentioned last time your egg walk, or the famous walk on egg. Yeah,
it didn't go so well, but I think that's okay because it was a test. It was an expensive thing. It was like $50. I bought the cheapest eggs I could buy, but you have to buy them in cartons. If you buy them in plastic, it's not good for your feet, and it makes it harder. And you have to take your shoes off. So I started walking on the eggs, and it was great. I was doing really well. And I was so excited because I was halfway through the walk.
Uh-huh.
And then my right foot lunged ahead and skipped the whole carton. And I was like, oh, no. And my foot went on an angle, and I had eggs smushed. Actually, only 2 in that carton. But we actually have a set of eggs as to the runway, the finish eggs. We never got there. We're 2 cartons away from them. So we have to do the whole thing all over again. But it was fun because I was successful till I got till the 5th row of eggs. And then...
I'm going to have that on the clip. I'm going to add that reel in there. We're going to have that on the edited version here. So
we're going to do walking on fire too, but not for a while. We're going to walk on fire too.
I don't know how you're going to do that. I ain't doing it. It won't be me, man. I mean,
it's mind over matter, right?
Yeah, well, I believe in a lot of stuff, but not that. All I know is fire burns. I've been burned before. I know it's not a fun thing, but I know there's a trick to everything. So hey, we'll experience.
Well, you just gotta think cool thoughts, and you gotta be calm, like I was with the eggs until I got to the end.
Well, you did demonstrate that it does work because you were actually up to three rows. Whatever.
Yes, but I didn't successfully get off the eggs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's funny, it grew quite a bit on TikTok. TikTok's very picky. But when something grows on TikTok, that's interesting. Over 1,000 people, and it keeps climbing.
Oh, TikTok is a whole different animal.
It's a different animal. I think the next mark, because they don't get 200. I think it's probably going to be 1,000 with eggs. And I said, I'd like to see that counter. Then I think they're probably not going to bother me again to get to 1,000. I was happy to learn about the Facebook. So I want to see those thousands, but I've seen lots of hundreds. Because I got my first. I want to see 500. I want to see a lot of 500s. You've reached, and I want to see. I'm very close to one of my thousands, so I want to see 1,000 this week.
Hey, listen, it's all out there. You just keep up and push it out, and that's it. Some will get some traction, some will not. And at the end of the day, it's going to get the right candidates.
And then they all keep growing with traction. I was at an ice cream parlor the other day, and I went there and I ordered the ice creams. It was National Ice Cream Day. And I ordered the ice cream, which was, I did cookies and cream.
Mm.
And I'm doing the whole video, doing the whole shoot. And after I finished the shoot, so what do I owe you? He says, don't worry about it. He had this, and I featured in the video the spoon. I said, check this out. A spoon that changes with temperature. It goes orange when it gets cold.
Nice.
But there's another ice cream day coming up, by the way. National Sundae Day is coming up soon. Actually, no, National Vanilla Day is coming up. Then National Sundae Day is coming up.
Well, let's talk about that, because I mentioned earlier you've been busy. But I mean, every day there's a day of something, and you've managed to actually know each and every one of those on the calendar for 365 days.
Not easy, Hurricane, not easy.
I know, but not only you've managed to know which ones they are. I mean, I'm sure you can
Yes.
Google them up, but you're
Yes,
actually
yes.
doing something for each and every one of them.
Absolutely. Yes.
So let's talk about that. I mean, was it today? Sour Patch Day or
Today
something?
was National Sour Patch Day.
All
So I
right.
went to Stop and Shop, and I went by the aisle of the Stop and Shop, and I literally took the Sour Patches there, and I encouraged everyone to go get themselves a Sour Patch box or candy pack.
Who knew? Sour Patch. I mean, out of all the candies.
It was Sour Patch and Caviar Day. I didn't think caviar would go over so well with a lot of people, especially on TikTok. And so I didn't do caviar, but caviar was the other choice today.
You'll be surprised. Caviar is
Yeah.
is a delicacy, right? You know, it's something different. A lot of people may like it. A lot of people may not. It's a taste.
So I figured the
acquired
Sour
taste thing.
Patch, everybody's kind of had Sour Patch, but the one that was kind of fun was we did one this past week was National Mac and Cheese Day. And we went to we went to ShopRite actually, because I needed a store that was big, like a super ShopRite. And we loaded our carriage with like 50 to 75 boxes, pretty much all the boxes they had on the shelf in the carriage. Then I took the last one. I was like, hey, everyone, it's Mac and Cheese Day. I think I'm going to get myself a box and just put it in my carriage. And I take it over and I'm like, oh, I hope these are on sale. And I hope I have enough. You know, my carriage is piling over. So I think that's what I'm trying to do, HH. I'm trying to come up with very unique things. There's one, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but there's one I'm working on next week that I'm actually going to tour a food factory. And I'm going to do something very interesting for a certain holiday that's coming up next week. So I'm always trying to do different things and then get really good music with it. I mean, today I decided that I was just going to shoot a video in my shop here of one of the machines at slow speed. But for us, our slow speed basically is the fastest most people's machines can go. That was our slow. And we were doing like 70, 100 a minute. And I just kept shooting. And I'm like, we print anything. We don't print money, but we print everything else.
Okay.
And the song I had was the famous Get Money song on there.
All right. Somebody's going to use that video somehow.
I don't know. I mean, I just come up with these crazy ideas. You know, one of them is going to go somewhere. I don't know which one. I have no idea. I didn't think the egg one was going to go anywhere. I was going to throw it. I said, no, it's a mistake. But, I mean, it could be anything stupid. I mean, I went to ShopRite and 3,000 people watched me scan some items. And I'm like, so you're watching me now. You're going to pay for it too? I guess I got to do that myself. So it just, you don't know what's going to pop. But last week, I had another interesting day. I had National Giveaway Day, which was the last Friday. And I got to tell you, so I used one of my companies and we made mugs and coasters. And I made them custom for those 4 businesses. I went to a pizzeria place. I went to a yogurt place, a bar, and I went to a hibachi. And I walked into the one owner of the hibachi place and I used the same song on all these. But again, when I'm going in, there's no song. I'm going, hey, James, it's John. Today's a National Giveaway Day. Our company would like to present this to you and wish you all the best of success. And we hope you have a great rest of your. Oh, you too. Have a great weekend. You too. And then I went back to my car. And within 5 minutes, that was pushed out to several networks. And then I went into the pizza place. Walked in there. I know the guys, but I didn't know the one guy like by name. And I walked in there and I said, hey guys, how you doing? Today's National Giveaway Day. Our company would like to present this to your team for everything that you do. We really appreciate the great pizza you make. And thank you so much. And be sure to tag us. And then I walked out of there. Then I came back after I got them posted and I said, gee, I'm going to have a slice of pizza. What do I owe you? Oh, just forget about it. Well, It was kind of nice. So I think, when people see you and you come around and they know that you're I don't do it for the free food, but, when they know that you do something or they walk in and they tell you, your money's no good here, or like, it's an interesting feeling. I went to the ice cream place and other places. I think it's neat because when you go to a community and they know who you are, it creates this camaraderie. And when I went to do National Lottery Day, I walked in there and I got my tickets. And again, they know what the heck I was doing. and I did the Rocky theme for buying the ticket. So I'm just being creative 24/7, just looking for things that might be interesting. Sometimes things that could be silly. I don't necessarily know what I'm going to film next. It's just when the moment just hits me, I'm like, I'm going to film that.
Well,
and then I'll come up with a song for it.
Well, that talking about a couple of things I want to just highlight,
Sure.
Based on this discussion. People are watching right now. It's like, well, what's the point of today's show? Well, first things first. I mean, ultimately,
there's a point. I know we had a point. I thought we were just talking.
Well, that's true. I mean, we do talk. It is a talk show, but the idea is that there is a moral lesson behind everything, as we say, right? So let's understand something. I mean, you've repeated the word appreciation. And these days were designed actually to really appreciate things that we have on a day-to-day basis that we don't even take consideration of, or we don't even think about. I mean,
absolutely.
You mentioned few things. I mean, how many of us go to a pizza, on a week? I mean, you have kids, you're eating pizza every week. Even if you don't have kids, who doesn't like a good pizza, right? Ice cream is summertime, everybody, even wintertime, people go to those places. And the fact that you did, by the way, you guys can check out, John's reels on Instagram and his social media, and you'll see all these videos.
Believe me, achieve.com, or just scan my hat.
There you go. Well, yeah, you're gonna have that for a second there, and you can clip a picture of it, and then
you
do
can
that
just
right
scan
there.
my hat. See, okay.
That's it, right off the screen.
Right off the screen.
but think about it, guys. We have people around us every day, and we interact with people every day. Do we actually take the time to appreciate everybody and everyone around us? And that's a big question that we can ask ourselves, and really take a split second, not even a full second, just sink that in and think about it. Do you actually appreciate people around you, everything around you, and just as in general? I mean, there's so many things around us every day. Our family members, our homes, our amenities, the people we meet.
Are you grateful for what you have in your life today?
There you go. And
I got to tell you, doing this day, National Giveaway Day. Yes, we gave a promo away, and I had a little flyer inside, but that wasn't like the whole thing. And it was just nice because some of these people were not like always friendly, but like they were like so warm. There was only one guy that was not friendly. I come in, he's like, "Oh, get the camera out of my face." What's I say? You can camera anything else, but don't camera me. So I kid him. I said, "Are you like in the witness protection program, or is there something that I don't know about, and they might be afraid that they come and arrest you?" Because I don't want to be on camera. Okay. So I said, I do want to let you know that we will be filming this. We'll film you not on camera. I said, well, we do have to let our viewers know that we did ask you to come on camera and you declined. So I was like, hey, everyone, it's John. I'm over here at such and such bar in Franklin Lakes. And first of all, I want to let you know we did ask the owners and managers to come on camera. They did decline. But listen, do be sure to tag and like us and support us. And thanks so much for following John's Daily National Days.
There you go.
And it just, people don't know what the hell I'm going to do, Eric. And this is like, I think this is what makes me so amazed with. I mean, I see this happening eventually within a few months, that having a big team is like, so I come up with the ideas now, but having a team where there might be 10 or 15 people, like, what do you guys think? Well, we researched the top 7 and we think that this is the one that you probably should. All right. I mean, I have one person that does that now, but still, I come up with a lot of my own ideas. And I think that's a good thing, to be spontaneous. But, this is a commitment, HH. It's really a commitment. I will tell you that if you don't like doing it, don't do it. Because if you're doing it for the money today, don't do it. People are going to see you. They're going to like what you're doing. And I tell people this, look, I might have not known social media. I not even known marketing many years ago, but I'm the real deal. I mean, I don't have any sleeves on, guys.
They're rolled up already.
They're already rolled up. I roll up my sleeves and I get dirty and I get in the water, and I do what I need to do. And I was talking to a magazine editor who was always on my case because, I'm posting in their group and stuff. And she's like, I can really see that, you're a good guy. You really work hard for your stuff. I said, yes. So she kind of like cut me some slack because like, you're always posting stuff. I said, all my stuff has value. And I belong to a national coaching group on one of the things. And everything I post, HH, he approves. He has a couple thousand, whatever, no, thousand, a few million people, and he declines so many things. Now, he may not approve them all today, but they'll be approved within a few days. Everything I post. In fact, one group I posted in, they have, I think they have 10,000 people in it. And I got an award today. And I said, what's the award for? Got an award for great content, which I thought that was really amazing. And the one that I posted was actually the one about people's attitudes and how you have to handle that and how you embrace it. And it was just nice to get that. And I think if people know that you create content, I mean, I started doing something which I've never done before, but I've started to do it. Little shameless plug. At the end of any of my videos, like, hey, listen, looking to have content like this for your business? Reach out to me. That's what I do. So I do that at the end of any video, at the last 3 seconds, which I think is okay. But I want people to know that, yes, I love doing this, but I want to do this for people. I love doing this for a living. One of the things I do a lot of things for a living, but I love just being part of creating content or just being able to stage things or figuring out what we're going to do. I mean, it's just, looking at the calendar, knowing like what's going to be this day and what's going to be that day. I mean, we're already planned in through the end of August with the concepts, not exactly where we're going. We found a place we're going next week. And again, I can tell you when I show up there in the factory, they're going to be a little surprised when I come up there and just shoot this, because you see what goes well. I've learned on TikTok, things that are not there. And you're probably saying, John, what the heck's that? Things that are not there, like things are unique. So who's putting a professional copy machine and shooting that we don't print money? That's not on TikTok. So things that are not on TikTok grow on TikTok. Is from what I've been learning, at least. Well, and I'm only on TikTok a few weeks.
Well, they're trends.
TikTok.
I like that. That's a good one. Well, it's amazing. I mean, social media is the new way, right? It's all out here. I mean, it's happening every day, and millions. What it did, it allowed a lot of people who had potential, had creativity, and the opportunity to actually put out their skills. And many people actually have different angles, and some catch on quick, some take a little time. But again, you got to test a few things before, and then all it takes is a one element, and then the next thing you're on fire.
I look at it this way, Eric, and I am having so much fun. I'm having a blast in what I'm doing. I love this. And it's like I crave getting up the next morning, like, oh, I'm going to shoot another video. Like, and these aren't even my professional videos. These are just like, short shoot videos. And I did something the other day for National AI Appreciation Day. I threw a quick little edit together. People loved it. Several hundred people. I talked about how AI is from robots to helping people play chess to learning about the fact where you have something you do well and then getting it to become better and more efficient and cost effective, and even disease mapping, and then even in manufacturing like chocolates and all kinds of other stuff. So I think I love the awareness piece, but I love the creative piece.
Well, they go hand in hand.
What's that?
They go hand in hand. I mean,
they go hand in hand. I mean, I went to McDonald's, I told you, over 4,000 views, not on TikTok now, on Instagram. So it's weird how that happens.
Well, it's
they never all go on one medium.
Well, the algorithms are different. The audiences are different. Instagram has its own way, and it is a Facebook. It's Meta, so it's a little different. The way they do theirs. TikTok is a whole unique, animal on its own, and I mean they have their own trends and their own.
And I don't know if you know, the CEO just stepped down.
You mean TikToks?
Yes, he stepped down.
I don't know. I didn't know.
Yes. When did he step? Just the other day. He stepped down from TikTok. He was the original founder.
Wow.
His name, in case you want to know his name, I'm trying to remember his name. His name was Zhang Yiming. He stepped down as chairman of the company of the ByteDance.
Wow.
And he claimed that he stepped down because he didn't have the skills to take it to the next level. I don't know if I believe that, HH. I think there's another reason. There might have been a cash incentive because the person that stepped up was also Chinese. And
Listen.
don't think he wanted to step down. I think it was more like, okay, we're going to offer you a package, or we're going to do this, and if you don't do, that's what I feel. And that TikTok is pretty much now in the U.S. with only, I should tell you, the U.S. users. We're on Oracle servers. They're still kind of working that out. But the thing that's bad about it is that the data is here in the U.S., which is great, only for U.S. users now, not the Chinese people in other countries. But China is still backing up our data. I'm like, what the F? Like, what's going on there? They're still back. Why don't we back up our own data? Why doesn't Oracle have their own backups? Well, we need to keep a back. No, that's BS.
John, you are frozen right now.
I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Really?
You just completely frozen. At least on my side, that's how I'm seeing it.
I'm moving. I'm full of life. I'm bouncing around.
I love that. Well, technology. We're just talking about AI. Maybe an AI application kind of overheard us there.
I said, okay, I'm going to fix you guys.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying anything bad to you guys. I was just talking about what AI is for.
You actually said good things.
About
yeah.
I wasn't ratting on you. I was actually giving you a kudos. The other interesting thing is that, AI is all around us. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Ring actually, the doorbell company now bought out by Amazon, fortunately or unfortunately. They actually delivered 11 pieces of data video to law enforcement without the video owner's consent.
Ooh,
now,
interesting.
That's interesting, right? And the law enforcement people don't need to get a subpoena. They just need to fill out an emergency form that basically states this information is vital because it's affecting the survival of someone's life. And then they'll forward it immediately. And so the thing that's very interesting about this is that when you buy a Ring doorbell, there's many different models, but when you buy a Ring doorbell, you are giving up your privacy. Now you might say, John, why do I care? Well, maybe you don't want everything on camera, but they have access to all your feed. I think that's a problem. I get the good part of it, but I also get the bad part of it, that there's no real privacy protection for people.
Well, that's supposed to be. I mean, there's a policy about it. They assure you that your stuff is not shared, that it's,
It's not secure because, you agree to this long thing that they update all the time, and they could do whatever they want with your information. And so I just feel that if you're a homeowner or a business owner, it should be your decision to release that information. So I think that's a problem. By the way, I made the post recently, just from our going back and forth, of do you take time to give gratitude in your life, and if so, how often? I made a LinkedIn poll. But I think people, love technology, but I would say, there's costs. Are you racing to do something and then going to pay a price later? Like, I'm not a big AI fan where I want my whole house to be smart. I like things to be technology savvy, but I don't necessarily want everything all interconnected and online. I see that as a disaster. I am a big fan of having a network where the house is connected, but it's not connected online all the time, or certain functions are online only. So, it's just, when you have every option or capacity in your house being controlled by a computer, that can be a problem. It could be a serious problem. And not a lot of fail safes. So I think that's a big issue for people. What's going on, with AI. AI right now is doing a lot with factories. It's doing a lot with helping people be more robust and efficient. You might know the fast food industry. Well, they've changed a little bit. There's a company not too long ago that actually started manufacturing robots for fast food restaurants. Now, this is nothing new, but they tried in the past to sell these robots for a lot of money. these restaurants couldn't afford it. Even the chains couldn't afford it that were franchises. So they decided to offer restaurant robots as a service. RRAAS.
Wow, interesting.
Restaurant robots as a service. And so RRAS, basically they can do small robots, big robots, but here's what they do. They're not robots that you'd expect them to be like huge. They're literally just production robots. So what I think technology is really good for is to put in situations where it's tasks, repetitive tasks, where a human would get tired of doing that over and over and over and over again. The other thing I think it's good for is sending the robots into tasks where it could potentially harm or take a human life.
Well, I mean, we've seen that in movies, but
we're getting to that point right now where, like I said, so they're putting the robot in the kitchen with the fryers so that they could work with the other people in the kitchen. And so they have a special kitchen set up, but just where the fryers are and things, but they can work so that the people still serve the French fries and serve the food, but the robots do all the heavy lifting, taking them out of the fryers, being in front of those hot ovens. That's what they're designed to do. And they're mostly pitching chains. So I have to believe that something is very interesting with this.
It is.
And the fact that you have robots in a restaurant, I think, is good, but I think it's important to keep the human touch there for the service. I don't think robots should be serving the food.
I don't know if we're there yet, but I mean, I know that's coming up. It's been in the movies. We've seen them in the Jetsons. We've seen them in a lot of different things, and it's amazing. I mean,
you won't have people working and flipping hamburgers at McDonald's or the restaurants. They'll be becoming junior robot operators.
Well, there's a big deal about, the Air Force, right? I mean, right now, the Air Force, they're thinking drones more than fighter jets, and pilots, right? I mean, there's always that debate about when does, that stop and everybody else becomes just sitting behind the screen, managing from over the other continent.
But something very interesting that I learned from somebody I interviewed who wrote a book a while back is that, there is an intimacy level. So when there's a strong intimacy level, people are not wanting to kill on contact. When you take away that intimacy level, like, you had them with the screens with the different colors, like 1 or 2 color screens, the person was a dot on the screen. So if you got rid of a dot, well, it was just a dot, no big deal. Now they're making the screens full high definition color. And they're now bringing the intimacy closer. So I think technology, to be honest, is hurting some of the military. I think they need to be more selective in what technology they choose to employ. But they have a whole high-performance team that's mission is to, I don't want to say it's okay to kill, but the mission is to say that, that's the task. But either or, we're talking about priests, you're talking about medical people, and their job is not to get involved politically, but to support them mentally. I remember talking to somebody, and they said to me, they're now having these contractors come in as military people. So they kill a few people. They go home for dinner. My wife says, honey, what was new at work today? Oh, not much. I killed 4 people. Can you pass the salt? And that's just how their day goes.
I know that must be tough. I mean, just thinking about it, right? But you're right. If there's no direct, I guess, feel for it, and seeing someone in front of you, it's a whole different game. I mean, again, it does look like a game, literally. And
it's not, and they take that very seriously, that it's not compared to a game. It is not a game. But what's interesting is that you have all these different people now piloting this the ships and whatnot. But what I think is very interesting is that you have these people working on this in this mission, and now, they're told to engage.
Mm-hmm.
They're not told to kill. They're told to commence the sequence. Their proverbial language is such that in a structure it's meant to be a process, like brushing your teeth. Okay, put the toothpaste on the toothbrush. Load the machine. Aim the machine. Make sure the machine is focused on the target. The target is hot. Prepare to initiate the sequence. I mean,
I know. It's psychologically speaking, it's a lot easier to hear those than hear permission to terminate.
It's not like you heard it in the movies. And I know I took psychology, and I also have my background in hypnosis, and it's not like that. They're changing it. But I said to the person, "What happens if the person can't pull the trigger?" He says, "Well, it probably means we didn't do a good job. We were interviewing them, because we try to figure out these questions." Well, how do you know if they're comfortable killing someone? I mean, that's like a big thing. Well, it happens, and we have a screw up once or twice. So we take that person and we move them into another position for strategic research where they won't be killing anybody, because they don't want to lose the person after they train them so much. But one of the hardest things is that you've been, let's say, told to watch this family and watch this adult or this father and watch every move he makes. Okay. And then you're watching him for weeks. You're studying him like him so well. You're in rapport with him. You just know everything he does, how he breathes, everything. He's going to take out the trash. It's 6 o'clock at night. He's taking the trash out. He's changing the car. He's getting up. He's going for his 6 a.m. walk. And everything about him. And what's interesting is that person that is, let's say, kind of following that person takes a vacation for a week. Okay. Now there's a new guy on the scene for that week, just for the week, because he's going away for that week. He's forgetting all about it. The person comes back the next week, and he's prepared to, check on the target. And he says, that the mission is no longer being pursued. And so they ask, well, what happened? Well, soldier, that mission has been completed. What do you mean it's completed? Your substitute last week, removed the target. And so now they get this strong amount of rage in their head because they did all this work. I don't want to say they wanted to kill them, but they did all this work and they feel like somebody else took away what was rightfully theirs. It gets very territorial, HH.
Oh, listen, I do not want to be in their shoes. I know it's a tough game. I mean, it's like a necessary thing sometimes. I mean, you're at war, whatever. You're going to need some folks that are brave enough to do this. But at the same time, I mean, as a human being, it is a tough place to be. I mean, psychologically, you have to have, either a nervous deal, or you just have some sort of a wash, system, brainwash system that is actually not going to get you into those emotional, feelings. So
they have a whole HPT, and that's not technology. That's a high performance team. They have lots of acronyms, but the HPT consists of like your, let's say, the medical people, your, it's going to be your a priest or clergy person, and all these people have the same level of security clearance as that person, because they need to be around that person all the time so that they can support that person. And the priest is not telling the person it's okay to kill, but they're just trying to help them with the situation.
Well, definitely not a job for me. I tell you that much.
No, I'm going to pass on that one. I don't know if I told you a story. When I was in college, I think it was my junior year, I was offered, I knew I didn't want to work for anybody, but I was offered a job for a few dollars, pretty nice job. And person came in to meet with me, and I knew the company, I knew what they did, and I knew somebody who worked for them. And he said to me, John, you'll be great. You'll be, this will be a great position for you. Just keep your grades up, and we'll offer you this. And this is what we could probably offer you starting. And I'm like, okay. I said, I'm interested in what you're telling me. I just want to be very upfront and honest with you, because that's how I am. I'll be happy to be part of your team, so long as at no point during my career with your company will I ever be tasked with the job to build something or manage something that will take another human life.
Sure.
And when I said that, the gentleman sat back in his chair, and he kind of like, I dropped a bomb on him. And it was silent. And you know the rule, whoever talks first loses. So I kept quiet for almost 2 or 3 minutes. And he's just looking at his book, looking at me, and just looking at his watch, and just staying there and waiting for somebody to talk, but I'm not going to say anything. He comes back, he says, well, Mr. Morley, that's a very interesting observation. Can you elaborate a little more on that? I said, elaborate? I said, it's not clear. Well, we work on lots of projects. Oh, I'll be happy to be crystal clear for you. I was just trying to put a nice little package around it. I don't ever want to be hired by your company or anyone else. I don't care for how many billions of dollars to create a robot, to write software, or to be part of any technology that is going to kill somebody and take away their life, i.e., a robot that just kills based on certain types of intelligence, something that would make decisions based on certain conditions, something that would be responsible for being part of a hospital that made the decision of whether somebody would live or die based on some statistical data.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of froze. He goes, well, thank you for sharing that with me. I said, yes. So he says, what brought you to these conclusions, John? Oh, simple. I have some friends of mine that work for your company. I know the general scope of what you guys do, and it's just not something that aligns with my morals and my principles. Mm. I can't be bought. He says, well, John, he says, we'd be willing to double the starting salary. I said, maybe, sir, you didn't quite understand me. I don't care if you gave me $1 billion to start with you. I won't do it. And he's like, we have psychologists that, I said, no, I'm not looking to be brainwashed. So I said to him, I said, well, I thank you for your time. Mm-hmm. I think we're probably out of time, and I know I have a game I got to go to, but I thank you so much for taking time to come down and meet with me today. It was really a pleasure to meet you. And he was just like, I was one of his top apples that he wanted. And when he had to go back to his boss, and because they had no idea that I was going to say no.
Well, it's not something they think about. I mean, they do the work that they do. They don't consider the outcome of what they do, meaning who gets, it's like building anything that can actually harm people, right? Whether it's medicine sometimes, and I start with that being in healthcare, whether it's, sure. Pills, and they do have an adverse reaction, but they do have, maybe a good benefit that outweighs that. But you take that, if you were part of it, and 1% of people actually got harmed, you were part of that, whatever makeup, right?
If I was part of a team that was, I'm not a biochemist. My mom was a chemical engineer with bio and medical. I would say that if I had to work on something and I knew there was a percentage that people would die from it, I don't think I'd want to be part of that. Even though that I could help a lot of other people, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep at night knowing that I created something that somebody took, and because of some reaction that I didn't think of, that I missed, somebody died. Even if it was one person, HH.
And I got you. And by the way, I mean, I know we veered off. We started with AI. We went to this default. People like, what the hell just happened to this show? But again, AI is AI, and we've seen it in we know what good it can do. But we also, there's always a factor of bad, and like everything else, has a double-edged sword, and then you can use it both ways, like anything else. I mean,
it's a weapon, a tool. It's a tool. You have to know how to use that tool proper. You can use it for good. You can use it for bad. We've said this before.
Exactly. I mean, everything in life, you have two options. You can use it for benefit the world, and a lot of people did a lot of things to benefit the world, and then somebody figured out a way to turn it in a bad way and actually destroy the world. And whether it's for environment, for health, for weaponry, for technology, it's the same thing. And again, there's a lot of movies, and I refer to movies because that's kind of like where everybody else kind of gets.
Everybody goes, yeah.
And we've seen them. I mean, it's sci-fi or it's just entertainment, but there is some deep stuff to it. I mean, you obviously, get to the concept that it could turn on you. I mean, Terminator, iRobots. I mean, we can talk about so many movies that where AI can be bad. But on the flip side, I mean, sometimes we have to look at the big scope of things, and there's so much stuff that can be used, where AI can be used correctly, in medicine, in healthcare, in education, in
like disease mapping is a very good use of AI.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many. Again, it's all about who has control over whatever it is. If the right people have it with the right mindset, they'll do the right thing. If you get the bad mindset, you're going to do the bad thing.
I'll give you a bad example of it, okay? You all know the company, I'm not going to mention their name, but you know who I'm talking about, the big A in the alphabet. We all know them. And they're paying people now, HH, in the warehouse, $50 an hour, no skills required. And you say, gee, that's a great job. My kid would love to go work there for $50 an hour. Part-time, whatever, right? Flexible hours. So you go there. I've talked to some people. I've interviewed some people that work there. And I said, how do they afford to pay you $50 an hour? I mean, I know they have lots of money, but it just doesn't seem. He says, oh, John, he says, most people never last. I said, well, can you talk to people? He's like, not really. He says, for starters, you probably remember a few years back, they had the shock bracelets, which I understand they've discontinued those. The other thing they do now is, let's just say you can do so many things an hour. Maybe you could do 50, for example, an hour, or 100. Mm-hmm. A robot, let's say, could do a lot more. Mm-hmm. They're expecting your efficiency to be equal to that of a machine. So if you could do, let's say, 50 comfortably, they'd expect you to do 100, 150. You're going to burn out. It's not a healthy thing. So what's going to happen is you're going to slow down, right? Naturally, you're going to slow down so the body can try to recover from that terrible disaster. Well, when you slow down, their wonderful AI robots and technology will actually notice this in the algorithm from the efficiency from what you've done and compare it to other people that work there. And if that decrease happens for more than, I think it's more than a 5-minute period, the system will write you up. Now it gets better. You'll get written up a second time. You don't speak to anybody. If you get written up 3 times, the company terminates you for performance in productivity. So when they were questioned about this, they said, well, we have performance standards. You have performance standards. What you guys have are slave standards. But because they have a lot of money, but this is why they have such a high turnover rate. Because I was studying this, I'm like, why do these people have such a high turnover rate? It's because they treat them like machines. They don't treat them like people. And they're using AI technology to figure out whether somebody is efficient or not. Okay? And they fire them.
Well, again, the use for AI here can have, I guess, a negative outcome. But when you think about it, I mean, from a science or from an efficiency of a company operation, I mean, it's doing the job where somebody else can be, more of a humane level. This is just basically, here's my metrics. You met them, you exceeded them, you didn't.
I think you definitely should have a standard set, but I think also that the AI or the robot should not replace the interaction with a human being.
Well, you're right.
So you have a problem. You don't talk to a human being. You talk to a robotic control system, which then reports back to management.
Mm-hmm.
That's just terrible.
It is different, and you're right. I mean, there's different. You see, the thing with AI, there's no emotion. I mean, you could be having a bad day. You can, and again, that shouldn't be. I mean, we're talking about 5 minutes, and you're like, you get written up. That's a problem. I mean,
now, here's what happens. Let's say you're not feeling great. Well, what you can go to the M something, whatever they call it, and that's their on-premise medical center, and they just give you an Advil and aspirin until you get back to work.
Wow,
that's their fix. So, I think they're just about using people to get ahead. They know that these people can't last, but some people, they last longer than others, but they have the highest turnover rate in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, I mean, talking about a company, right, corporation, and you have performance metrics, you have productivity, you have targets, goals, quarterly, profits, whatever, you put up, right? And, you have this almost a mill, right? You have people come in, the quarter's still gonna go. I mean, the show must go on, as they say. People come in, people go. There's a high demand. I mean, this is something actually, believe it or not, I've not quite the same, but you and I, we have something similar. We worked at Disney, and there was a time at Disney when I was there, they had about 35,000 employees at the time. And one of the things I was told was, there's a long waiting list. If you don't like it, you can get out. So, when when the company has that kind of leverage, where they know that it's lined up people to just get a job, then this becomes a little bit easier when people have to be termed, or just a matter of like, okay, it's not working out, bye-bye. So the dynamics shift. But again, I mean, you have labor laws, you have all these things, but most of these states, for example, are employment at will. So you don't have much leverage unless it's a discrimination level or harassment level. There's nothing else you can do about it. To your point, performance is
New Jersey, New York. Yeah, we're at will employment states. Yep.
Exactly. So a lot of states, not just here. I mean,
there's a lot of. But to just answer your question, the company in 2019 had 123% attrition rate, and it jumped to 159% attrition rate in 2020.
I'm Googling that.
That's terrible.
Wow, that is a lot. Well, again, I mean, listen, I know I've heard some stories myself, direct through other interviewees, because I had some employees that came, from an Amazon background, and I mentioned the name here.
That's all right.
I think they're smart enough to realize what it is. Again, we're not bashing them, but the fact of the matter, these are facts.
No. I mean, I think the important thing is, when you call and they have all this technology, which I think is fantastic, but it's not as efficient as you think. I ordered a product a year or two ago, before COVID, and it was a personal product. It was a shaver or something, and I want a certain model. So I called them back. I said, I didn't get the right model. Oh, no problem, sir. We'll ship you. They'll ship you the right one. Ship it to them. I get the model again. It's wrong. I said, look, this is getting crazy. This is the second time. Okay, sir, we're going to take care of it for you. Send it to me again. I call him back, sir. We can't ship you any more products. Okay, well, I want to refund. Well, we can't take your product back. We'll refund you, but we can't take product back, and we can't give you any more product. But you just gave me the same thing. I'm so sorry on that one, sir. And when you call them, it's like, can I have a U.S. representative? Oh, can I verify your account? No. May I please have a U.S. representative? Then you get somebody on the phone and say, and your name is? Okay, is that your real name? Okay, and you are in the United States? Fantastic. Because when they say their name is Mary, oh, really? Your name's Mary? Oh, you didn't sound like a Mary.
Doesn't never sound like, right?
Sound like a name I can't pronounce. And they do this because they want the Americans to feel comfortable. That's why they do it. But when I hear things like, oh, we'll be happy to help you with that one. When I hear that HH, I'm like, okay, I'm extremely patient. I know you're trying to learn the language. We don't say that one, this one. We don't do that. I'll be happy to help you with your challenge. There's no this one, that one. You don't do that. And that drives me up a wall because I know that if they're going to be that careless with that detail, they're going to screw up my order. They're going to screw up everything I have.
Well, they are. Listen, I mean, I've experienced them. I mean, I do have, a business that is actually that's been on Amazon, and it's been difficult. I mean, to post products,
difficult. That's at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been a challenge. I mean, for years we've had, a tough time, and it just got worse over time. It's like you can't talk to anyone. You just put these tickets in, and you get all these responses, and you have time frames. It's just difficult, man. You even have a team working, and they still get a challenge with this. So I can tell you, and when you speak to them, there was a time I literally was going to record it. They were just having a good time talking, and I was on the line waiting, and nobody picked up. I can hear them. I just could not speak to them. So again,
yeah, that's true. I know we started a fulfillment with them. We closed because it was ridiculous. We were trying to use them for fulfillment for something, and we spent quite a few months getting that set up. Mm-hmm. So we got it set up, and they started dinging the credit card every month. Now we're still not using it yet. We're having an issue. So I figured 1 month they're going to charge, just go back. We're still having issues with the setup and getting product there. And I want to cancel the stupid service. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We can't help you with that one. Well, what was your email? I don't know what email it was. Okay, we need the exact information because we can't look. You mean you're this company and you can't look up my name? No, sir, we can't do that. Well, maybe you should get a better programmer that actually knows how to write software. And it's like they play these games, and then they play this appeasement game where it's like, oh, sir, I'm going to be I love you. You get some of these support companies you call just for fun. And you get on the phone. Hi, my name is Harry, and I'm going to be your support engineer helping you today. Okay. All right. So you're an engineer, really? So am I. Oh, that's good. Good. You engineer too. What school did you go to? School? You engineer? You went for 2 year, 4 year? You went to associate? You went to college? Uh-huh. Yeah. No. Which one? You have a 2 year associate? Do you have a 4 year degree? Did you get your bachelor's? Uh-huh. Okay. And what kind of engineering did you study? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I engineer. I'm going to help you today. I have an engineer to help you with the support. And I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling very good with this guy. And something like an RMA, I'm like, it's finally, I just tell the guy, look, because the lab, you go through all these things like, it has no power. I just tell them it has no power, whatever I like, because they have to fix it. Like, it has no power. I see. Have you tried a different cord? I tried different cords. I tried different outlets. I tried different switches. It has no power. Can you hold on a minute? I'm going to check with my supervisor. Get back. Okay, we're going to have to open a case on this one. What do you mean? Our website? Yes. Did you open a case? I already did. Do you know the case number? Yes, I give it a case number. Yeah, I see it, but I think you opened it with the wrong department. What do you mean the wrong department? It's an RMA. It's supposed to be with a tech support. It's an RMA, return merchandise. Let me see if I can get it changed to the support. So he changed it over. I speak to the guy, and he says to me, why is it a tech support thing? Well, because that's what the guy just told me. No, it's supposed to be in the RMA queue. I'll fix that for you. Let me get you over to somebody, hopefully somebody that can help you. Okay. I talked to the person, Sir, I see you're covered under warranty. That's good. When do you want to get the product? Well, how long does it take to fix it? Well, we have two options. Okay. One, you ship us the old product. And then we take a week or two to fix it. And we send it back to you. We have another option. Faster, but costs money. Okay. You put your credit card number in online and you pay for a whole new unit. And we charge you for that and the shipping. And then when we ship it out to you, then you put your old unit in the box, you send it back to us. When we get it back, you have to send it to us within 30 days. We refund you everything minus the shipping. So let me get this straight. I bought a product for you for $700, and you're saying I need to pay you $700, plus I got to pay you $40 for the processing for shipping. But if I go through this slow way, I can just wait, and it's completely free. And it's not simple because you have to go to a website. You have to give a number. It was a whole process. And one example of where they do this is hard drives. And they want you to give all these codes. And I just feel that customer service has become uncustomer service.
It is difficult. I'm telling you, I've experienced, this. I mean, with this particular, instance with the fulfillment piece, and also just the putting the products in there. But really, you're right. I mean, just difficult. You get the runaround between departments. Please hold this, that.
I get this when I call the company, the cell phone company with the V in the alphabet. I call them up. I'm trying to do something. I can't get them on the phone. And they say, okay, you can download our app to schedule a callback. I'm not downloading your app. And I don't want to give you any more information you already need. You have too much information about me already. Or I get somebody on the phone after holding for a while. Like I just put the phone, I go make dinner, I come back, and it's 42 minutes. I come back. Hi, hello. My name is Glenda, and who am I having the pleasure of speaking with today? I give her my name. Okay, she looks at the information. And what can I do for you? I'm looking to do this. She's like, okay, have you downloaded the app? I don't want to download the app because your app takes information and sells it to people. You guys make money. I see. So you're familiar with the app? Ma'am, I've just told you 2 times. I do not want to download the app. I see. So what can I do for you? I've already told you 3 times what I'm trying to do. And what was your phone number? My phone number? Yeah, the phone number on the mobile. I give her the phone number. And then she said, and what's the passcode on the account? Didn't I just verify myself? Yeah, my screen's not working. Well, get me to a rep that has a phone that works. Let me see. We're all working from home today. And I don't mind people working from home, I really don't. But I have a problem with people work from home and they can't give the same level of service that they do when they're in the office.
It does change the dynamics. And again, through the pandemic, we had, to resort to this, and it worked out for a lot. And some companies did invest in the infrastructure at home.
Some did and some didn't.
Exactly, yeah. So again, and again, a lot of these calls are also, to your point, are veered out overseas, and so therefore they just relay calls. And again, the infrastructures in some of these places can be different as well. So
I had one. You know what it's like. I had one. It was one of the cable companies, and being a first responder, I came back, and one of my phones, my landline phone, wasn't working. Came home late at night. I called them up. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. We don't have any facilities open for you to come in and get a new modem." What do you mean? Well, because of the pandemic, they're all closed. But I can have one shipped out to you in 7 to 14 days. I have no house phone. I go, we're very sorry about that. I can give you a $1.50 credit for today's inconvenience. And I'm just like, so then I go get the modem. I pick it up. Basically, I go to a location. She tells me they're closed. And then the next day or two, I hear there's a location. Oh, let me go there. Well, I heard that the line is like hours and hours long. I said, I ain't waiting in that line. So I got up early in the morning. They open at 9. Guess what time I got in line?
I don't know.
7 a.m. But guess what? I was the first person to the door at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Went in there. They're very helpful. Got what I needed. Then I decided after a while I wanted to upgrade my modem. Stupid idea, to the 1G service. I had the 500, which was pretty fast, but I wanted to go to the 1G. They've been advertising it.
Don't have the
And I called them up and I said, what modem are you going to give me? She says, we're going to send you the new one. I said, you're not going to send me that crappy one, are you? Oh, we only have one kind, sir. I want an Eris modem like I have now because it's the best. We don't use Eris no more. The real truth why they don't use Eris, they said they're no good. No. The reason that Eris doesn't work with them anymore is they have a bill they haven't paid in 3 years. So Eris is one of those companies that they don't need you. And if you don't pay your bills on time, you're done. So they can't get product from them. So they have a modem from Venezuela or some other country. And the modem is so bad that it overheats. And it has a software throttle so that if it overheats, the software takes the modem down to 80% of its capacity because they don't have a proper heat sink in the modem. I mean, that's really terrible. So I have them send me the modem. Oh, you can't hook up yourself. We have to send a technician. They send me a guy from some local company. I said, are you with the cable company? Oh, we work with the cable company. I said, are you familiar with the DHCP? Oh, no, we don't use that. I said, because I want to use static. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, we don't do anything like that. Well, I need you to go into the modem. I need you to set up it so it's static so I get the same IP that I have. Oh, you can't do that. Well, I have to do that. Those are numbers I use at home. Let me call my supervisor. Guy comes out, spends 2 hours at my place, plugs it in. He says, okay, you're all good. Well, good. I said, why don't we test it, make sure it works? Oh, sir, I can't. I have to get going. It's late. It's like 7 o'clock, and I have to go home now. Well, you took my service down. You said it's coming back up. Oh, it will. It's going to come up in like 15, 20 minutes. You're going to see. You're going to see. You're going to wait. It's going to come up. And he doesn't stay. And 15, 20 minutes later, guess what happens? The service doesn't come up. No surprise. I call them back, a little bit annoyed. They tell me to lower my voice. I said, I am extremely patient right now. If I was angry, you would know about it. And she said, okay, I'm going to get you somebody else. Then they say they're going to get someone else to me, a more senior person. They get the senior person coming out the next morning. Then I get a call from another country. Mr. Morley? Yes, sorry. Yes, I'm with the cable company. You're in New Jersey? No, I'm with the cable company. We're going to help you with your new modem. What are you going to do? Well, we want to see what's wrong with it. Well, I already told you there's a problem that they figure. So let me see if we can do it, and we got to fix it, and then we got to cancel the service call. Well, I think we could do it on the phone. So the guy's with me on the phone, and I said, do you know what the default password is? And I tell him, he says, no. He says, I'm not sure. Do you know how to reset the modem? I said, you want me to factory reset it? You want me to send you a document how to do it? Well, first of all, you can't send it to me because I have no email. Okay, so I can walk you through it. You have like a pin or a pen or something. Yeah. Okay, you hold that little button in there. Yeah. You hold it for like, I don't know, maybe like 30 seconds. You unplug it, and then you wait like another 15 seconds, maybe 20, and then you plug it back in, and you let me know when that light goes amber. Okay, I plug it in. It's amber now. Then it starts coming up, it's flashing. You sure you plugged it in? I plugged it in. So you're going to wait, the light's going to go green. It doesn't go green. Maybe you did it wrong. I said, I did what you told me. And I said to the guy, I said, not for nothing here, sir, to be, with all due respect to you, I'm a network engineer. I said, so I was playing along with you, but I actually know how to do this. Oh, I see. We're going to get someone out to you. We're going to try to get someone out to you tonight. We get someone out. Like when? Oh, they're going to come. Well, it's 4 o'clock now. We're going to get somebody. They're going to come. You're going to see. They're going to come by 8 o'clock, but you guys close at 8. No. We're going to prioritize this. I'm waiting. 8 o'clock comes. Guess what happens? Yeah. Nobody shows up. Mm-hmm. I pick up the phone. I call them. Mr. Morley, what can we do for you? Well, we had a service call till 8 o'clock. No, you didn't. We closed. No one goes up. Well, they're making well, there's nothing in the books here. I go and file a Better Business Bureau complaint, a consumer affairs complaint. And finally, after the guy comes back, they fix everything. Says, "Oh, we're having trouble in your area. We can't give you 1G." Well, why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? Because the map said that we could give it to you.
Ouch.
So I couldn't get the 1G until I moved because they have some kind of problem with one of their devices, and they don't know when they're going to be able to replace that head node. That took 2 weeks. I was down service for 2 days. So I had my jetpack with my phone, and I was connecting that way. That's what I mean. People, I understand that you don't know everything. I respect that. I don't know everything, but, at least have some courtesy to say, look, I really don't know what I'm talking. I even tell people, look, if you don't know what it is, it's okay to tell me you don't know, but please don't BS me and try to make me think you're more intelligent by making yourself sound great, but really you just make things worse.
Well, John, listen, today was an interesting show, and we've gone through the eggshells to the appreciation day, and we got into the AI, and we talked about the merits of an AI and the good and the bad and the ugly, and we did say that there will be some controversial discussions, and we'll try to do good cop bad cop policy, so we're trying to keep that as well. You know what? At the end of the day, if you're listening right now, watching, just know that some of the stuff that John was referring to, it's real. And as a matter of fact, you probably can relate to some of it. One time or another, you've had to experience some of this. And again, he talked about a couple of specific companies that he experienced that, and I shared some of my own experiences. But at the end of the day, if you had cable, if you had phone, if you had other services, you probably had some level of dissatisfaction with service, or an experience on the phone that is not really the best. And that's unfortunate. And again, if there are any executives out there watching and listening right now, I mean, listen, feedback is good. That's why reviews are great these days, and they make a big difference. Listen, this is just, we're reflecting some of the experiences we had. And while we appreciate the work that a lot of these companies do and the services that they provide, overall, we need them, and they have, some market, I guess, monopoly to the degree. And
exactly.
and
they need to be accountable, I think, is what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, there you go. I mean, I was getting there, but that's why it's double impact. So the bottom line is, and I know if anybody on an executive level hears this, they're not going to be very pleased with the fact that this is happening out there, because sometimes they may not even know, because the data that goes up there, and they do satisfaction surveys, and in the recent years you can see that all the time. I mean, you finish a call, they say, can you hold for a brief survey? How did you feel about our experience? And you know what? Give your honest opinion. Don't just give a 10 because you just want to be nice, because that's when things improve or not improve. And so again, there's a lot of stuff that we come across in life, day in, day out, and in our day-to-day, business, and it affects us. And it is, by the way, the time you spend, John, on these phones, and I know how that is. Time is valuable. Time is money. Time is everything.
Time's money.
You can't get any of your time back. And so spending a couple of hours, you might think that's just nothing, but that's 2 hours you could have been doing something much better with your life, with your family, whatever, more productive. And just to sit there and fix a problem and be on hold for 45 minutes or more, just to get started again with the same comment. I hate when that happens, when someone they verify you and then they transfer. I was like, I
call that a cold transfer. I always say, would you please do a warm transfer? What do you mean? I want you to brief the person on what's going on. Oh, they can just look in the computer. No. I want you to tell them what I am, get my account verified.
I know. Well, that's exactly, I tell them the same, warm transfer. I don't feel like saying this again. I don't need to tell them my name and everything, blah, blah, blah. Get them over. They need to know what the situation is. Yes, and make sure you put it on the notes, and this is recorded. So so you kind of educate them, but they're supposed to know that. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So, but again, if you are experiencing something like this, you gotta, speak about it. You need to put the reviews out. You need to reach out, whatever it takes. And again, here's the other rule I have. You piss me off. I never use you. And when we talked about monopoly, I mean, there's always a choice. I mean,
You have a choice.
yeah, we have a few choices, but like 20 of them, but you have one or two. And sometimes, you just make that leap. And believe me, this happened to me with a carrier as well, a cable company. They would not give me an adjustment, whatever. And when I decided to terminate the contract and actually cancel, all of a sudden it became nice. It was like, well, too bad you missed that opportunity. When I was talking to the guy, he was rude and he was like, you know what? Well, this and that. I was like, okay, well, now kiss my, tush, whatever the case may be. And you know what? You lose the business. Forget about it. And so I went to the other guys and that's it. Because I told them I had the option. See, some people may not have the option to get the other guys. I did because it was in my neighborhood. And so
We don't have the option to that.
I'm saying, but in my case, I had that. I'm like, okay, well, now, they've been sending me stuff every day, offers. Every week I get offers. But that's the thing. You lost business for a few years. That should teach you when you see your numbers dropping, there's a problem. When you see some people are leaving for a reason, you need to know why. There's got to be some operational stuff. There may be some customer, resolutions that are not happening out there.
And when you get these executives on the phone, I'll tell you, when you file a complaint with the FCC, it's free. The FCC, you can go to the FCC and file a complaint with your cable, your TV utilities, and you will get a call back from your provider. I'm going to tell you within probably 24 to 48 hours. It'll be the head escalation office, the VP of escalations, president escalation office. And they'll be very nice to you and you explain, and they'll try to appease you. Because here's what happens. If they don't do that, it's a $20,000 fine to them. So they try to appease you. They file the notes, make it look all good that they responded. But at the end of the day, they really don't do a lot. They try to fix your problem. But I would say if you have the car and it has a dent, well, they're not going to put a whole new panel in. They might just take a hammer on the inside and just kind of bang a little bit of it out so you kind of can't see it, maybe spray paint a little bit.
Technology. Well, listen, guys, folks, I mean, this was, like I said, an interesting show. And, we've covered a lot of angles. It's all about sharing some love and some value and some insights. Some of you've experienced, some of you sometimes just need to be reminded of how it works and what you should be. And I know John gives good, deep, level, of insights and outcomes and potential solutions and what you need to do. So that's always important because sometimes, again, not knowing is the problem. But when you know how to navigate, how to maneuver the system and to make it work, you'll get better outcomes and hopefully you'll have the things that you're looking for and you pay for. That's the other thing. You're paying for service. You need not to.
Exactly. And I tell people when I'm on the phone with them, I'm like, look, just want to let you know our call is being monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. And I don't have a problem at the end of the call. I'm like, so you're not able to help me. You have no supervisor. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to just make you aware of this. I've asked you 3 times to help me very nicely, correct? Yes. Okay. I'm going to go up to your boss. I might go as high as the vice president of the company, and I'm going to provide a copy of today's phone call, unless you're able to help me. So are you able to do anything for me, or should I just bundle this file up and email it off to your executives? They hang up on me, so I think when you do that, they know. I had another person one time that was pushing me on a sales thing, and I said to the guy, hey, dude, what are you doing? You're calling me. Oh, you already have a customer. Yeah, but I told you not to do sales solicitations to us. We're not interested in those other packages. Oh, well, I've asked you 3 times, haven't I? Yes, I have. Okay, great. So I'm asking you to stop. If you don't stop, I'm going to call the district sales manager and I'm going to give them a copy of the call and tell them you're harassing me. He calls me a 4th time. He doesn't quit. I sent a copy, dear Mike, such and such. This new zealous salesperson might be great for your team, but he's destroying your business. I asked him to stop calling me. Then he did again on the 4th try. So I thought it might be interesting for you to listen to the recording where he said he was going to stop, but he didn't. And is this really the reputation that you guys want to uphold now being a publicly traded company?
Well, you brought a good point. I think that folks may or may not know about it. I mean, we all know about the do not call list, and you do have the right to actually request that. And when you do, and the company does not adhere to those and calls you back, there is some compensation, and it goes, every time they do it and they break that
They get hit. But he was trying to get in there because we were already a customer with the company. So we couldn't use that clause, but they were trying to sell me other services. But I even told them, please don't call me. So it doesn't quite qualify. You know what I mean?
Well, not again, but again, for people that get solicited in general, you have that.
Yep.
Even if you're a member,
do not call.gov is the website.
there you go.
You can register and file a complaint there.
But even, I mean, from a just as a customer, client, or member of any service company, you can request, limited calls or just specific calls to be happening based on the need that you have or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then if they don't, then you can always terminate the contract or whatever, or move to a different service. Again, to your point, harassment was a key word. That's scary. Again, these are not probably secrets that most of us that watching and listening, can and figure out these things. Sometimes people are just not ready for that battle or to take it to the next level and complain. Trust me, those that complain and make noise, they're the ones that get the stuff happening to them. And I mean, the things are resolved.
Exactly. But when you complain, I want to tell you this, right? I know a lot of people can get angry and they can yell and scream and curse. Don't do that. When you call the people, state what the issue is. I recommend writing it down. Don't have your emotions in it, and separate yourself. Put the facts down on the paper, okay? And just don't get angry. Take a deep breath, chill, because you're going to get a lot more accomplished and say, look, Mrs. Jones, look, I'm reaching out to you again. I'm trying to be very nice about this. This is really annoying to me. I really need your help. Can you please help me? If not, can you? And that's what you want to do. You've got to do that in the most kindest way and document everything. And the companies don't like when you do that. They're going to want to resolve your problem. It just might not be as quick as you want, but I guarantee you they're going to fix it.
I mean, to be honest, the fact is that every company wants to keep their members. I mean, bringing new business, one thing, retaining your membership or clientele is important too. And a lot of companies are doing the best they can to do that. But again, through the process of operations, sometimes you get a bad apple in the team or bad training. That can also happen. Sometimes you defer training to third parties. So many things can happen to your voice. So, I mean, the default, it should be that we are the customers. Everyone, whether you own a company, whether you actually are an executive in a company, on your own personal life, you also are a customer for other companies. And you know exactly how that feels. So I use that in my training as well. Just because we have our own members or customers, we are consumers. How would you like to be on that other side of the call when a person is, not happy with the service, whatever you get? You don't. So you're not going to be very pleased if something is wrong. So similarly, you want to make sure that you assess the situation, listen to the people, and
assess it, empathize them. One thing I tell people to do is don't yes people to death. Make sure that you listen to them. And if you say you're going to do something, take accountability. Make sure you do what you say you're going to do, because that's really important. If you promise something to that customer, it's really important that you follow that so that this doesn't become a major grenade exploding next time.
That wasn't with that good advice, John. We conclude today's, double impact. And again, we've talked about some fun stuff and we're talking about some serious stuff, and it will be exactly the same, routine. We'll come up with some discussions, topics that are actually current.
We never have an agenda. We just pick whatever's current.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just led to this, one discussion takes to the other, and we will just keep doing that. And again, you guys can send us your I guess, questions, comments, or discussion topics, and we can
feedback, whatever you guys want to send us. Definitely, or if there's a topic you want us to cover about something we've done, we'd be happy to dive in that. Just let us know what area of business or life or you're having challenges with, and we would love to unpack that for you on the air.
That's it. Well, John,
we got to say goodbye, everyone. Check out our social media. Be sure to check out believemeachieve.com and check out John's National Daily Day. You won't be sorry. There's lots of great stuff coming up, and the only thing I'm going to tell you is something really cool is going to happen on Bagel Fest Day. I'm not going to tell you what, but something's going to happen on Bagel Fest Day, and you're definitely going to want to check my social media that day.
I love my bagels, so hey, I'm going to be tuning into that one as well. All right, folks, I'm Hurricane Age.
And I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and together we are
Double Impact.
Double Impact. We'll see you next week, everyone.
We'll talk. Bye-bye.